I've had extensive relationships with younger men where I've sort of met friends and some of their family, and relationships where I've met none at all. And I know it's quite a secret thing. Hi, my name is Gaynor and I'm the resident agony aunt for toyboywarehouse.com, and this is another Ask Gaynor. My first question is from a lady called Lisa who comes from Devon. And Lisa tells me that she's been dating a much younger man for quite a few months now, almost a year. And she would like to move things on, you know, a little bit and be introduced to his family and meet a few of his friends. And he seems very reluctant to do that. And Lisa said, is this how it has to be when you're dating a much younger man? Does it always have to be very secretive and covert? Well, Lisa, from my experience, which I suppose is quite extensive now, it can be that the younger man is just a little bit worried about introducing you to his family and friends, in case obviously there's some sort of judgment. I find personally that quite often the fact that you're seeing a younger man is usually well known among my friends, but not always so well known amongst theirs, in case, you know, they're scared of being laughed at, or, you know, oh, you've got an older woman, oh, you're a toy boy, so that sort of thing. So really what you need to decide is whether or not the relationship as it is something that you want to continue, or whether that you are really looking for something more committed. And if you are, then realistically, depending on the age gap, depending on what expectations each of you have, it could just be that the young man involved is just a little bit shy. It could be that he hasn't told anyone that he's seeing someone older, and he may not just be ready. He may need a bit longer to get used to the idea. I mean, my advice would be really to ask the question, would you consider introducing me to your family, or is there a reason why you haven't? If he says, well, as far as he's concerned, he's happy with the way things are, which could well be the case, then really it's up to you, if it's not suiting you now, to actually make a decision on whether or not this is something you want to continue. I've had extensive relationships with younger men where I've sort of met friends and some of their family, and relationships where I've met none at all. And I know it's quite a secret thing. And I think when you're doing this type of dating, you must be prepared for the fact that it's not going to run along the same conventional lines as a same age or just a small age gap relationship. I call it my relationship of sorts. It still suits me. I'm aware you have to be realistic about these things so you avoid getting too emotionally involved. Of course it can happen, and we've all been hurt in the past by this. We've been stupid enough to let our feelings get involved, and quite rightly so in most cases, and they're often reciprocated. It's usually a two-way street. I'm not suggesting that it's always the older woman that gets attached. This could be the reverse conversation, with the younger man wanting to meet the older woman and show her off to all his friends, and the older woman saying, no, I can't, and so on. So I think a realistic conversation needs to be had, and then a decision needs to be made as to whether or not this is going to suit you going onward, or whether it's time to move on and look for someone that is more maybe after the same types of things as you. But my advice is, if it's going well and you're enjoying it, then give it a bit longer and see. But don't let it be the sort of reason that you don't continue it. But if you're going to get hurt in the long term, it may be better to call it a day now. Well, anyway, I hope that helps, and if any of you out there have any questions for me or would like me to answer them like this in video or personally in writing, please do write into toyboywarehouse.com and I'll be happy to answer them. So I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care. Bye bye.